Israeli army announces the start of a ground operation in Lebanon. 3:53. No way, guys. I can't believe Israel would start a ground operation in southern Lebanon. What the f? I'm shocked. Who could have foreseen this? Who could have seen this coming, dude? Didn't you literally call this happening back in like November last year? Or was it like 1 week after October 7th? I mean, I've been saying this. I've been saying this for some time. I don't know exactly when I started saying it, but it's been a while. Man, I kept saying over and over again that right as the month of October has begun, the October surprise has begun, which is not a surprise at all, but an October assurance at this point, an October promise at this point. This is why they pay me the big bucks, baby. This is why. Before you say, oh, dude, like, why can't you predict something good? Sorry, good things don't happen. By God, they did it. They did it. I thought maybe they wouldn't, because maybe they would recognize that this is not the greatest idea, considering the diaper brigade's glaringly obvious L's that they've taken in terms of like militarily defeating Hamas. Nope. Now they're going into Lebanon. I hate to say it to the Lebanese American chatters, but you have been downgraded in your hierarchy to the lowest rank, which is Palestinian American. Unfortunately, you are in the crosshairs of Israel. Israel has a military and material interest, and therefore now you are, in the way. In accordance with the decision of the political echelon, a few hours ago, the IDF began limited, localized, and targeted ground raids based on the precise intelligence against Hezbollah terrorist targets and infrastructure in southern Lebanon. These targets are located in villages close to the border and pose an immediate threat to Israeli communities in northern Israel. So the problem with this, by the way, is that Israel doesn't just like go and do a precise and limited targeted operation. They usually are too cowardly to actually put their diaper wearing troops in the line of direct fire. So they just like blow up everything before they move in. So that's what they're doing. Remember when they did this in Rafah too, by the way? The IDF is operating according to a methodical plan set out by the General Staff and Northern Command, which IDF soldiers have trained and prepared it for in recent months. The Israeli Air Force and IDF artillery are supporting the ground forces with precise strikes on military targets in the area. There you go. Here it is. By the way, they said this verbatim about Gaza. Israel has learned that if you want to do a ground invasion that the U.S. pretends to oppose, you can just call us something else at the beginning. Problem solved. They did this with Gaza too. What was like the Russian government's official statement? Limited ground operation. Didn't they use the same exact words? Special ground operation. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre walks back Biden's comfortable with them stopping comment when pressed by a reporter. What is this?
The president said this morning that, quote, I'm comfortable with them stopping with regards to the Israeli potential incursion into Lebanon. What did he mean by that, and does that mean he's uncomfortable with them continuing?
No, I answer that question, which is we believe that Israel has the right to defend itself against Hezbollah and Iran-backed groups. We have said that. We've also have said that Israel is in a tough neighborhood. You've heard us say that. They really are. And so we believe they have the right to defend itself. What we also want to see is a diplomatic resolution here. We do want to see a ceasefire. Ultimately, that's what we need to see.
Israel has a right to defend itself. Again, guys, sorry. Southern Lebanon is just standing there looking good. It's kind of their fault for being in this tough neighborhood, okay? You don't understand. It's like you're fucking stupid and silly and anti-Semitic. You're stupid and anti-Semitic for saying that what Israel is doing is not defense but offense, okay? Why are you not seeing the truth that Israel has to invade southern Lebanon? God. Ugh. Why don't they have air defenses? I mean, dude, if you have air defenses when Israel bombs Beirut, you just laser the Israeli F-15s. You can't have that, can you? Who's going to give you the air defenses? They want to make sure that the people that give you the air defense, if you're Lebanon, is going to be Western allies, because you're officially in the orbit of Western empire. Number one problem there is Hezbollah is the most resilient and strongest political force in the country. You're not going to let Hezbollah take control over your air defenses. Are you kidding me? That's basically like giving it to Iran directly. So that's number one. In the eyes of the Western world, that's how they see it. Number two, if you give them air defenses, they're going to use them. What do you mean? If you have any kind of like real sovereignty, if you have any kind of real sovereignty in terms of air defenses, like, yeah, you think Israel can fly over your country and bomb your capital? No.
And the Israeli military has released a statement announcing this ground offensive. A spokesperson said the IDF began limited, localized and targeted ground raids based on...
It's crazy because it's always limited until it's not. You know what I mean? It was limited incursion into Rafah. It wasn't. It's always a limited incursion into Gaza. It wasn't. The moment Israel starts saying, oh, we're going to save your people from, you know, insert whatever leadership exists in the area, know that they're coming. Christian group Janub El Rab donates blood in Lebanon, commenting on their actions. A member of the Soldiers of God, Janub El Rab, told the Lebanon Mirror website, "We may have significant political differences with the party Hezbollah, but we will not be a dagger in their back. We are the children of one country and family, and blood will never turn into water." Look at these studs. These guys are like the Lebanese Proud Boys teaming up with the leftists. Insane. Yeah, I mean, it's not insane. It's something that understandably happened in Ukraine. It's something that I said would happen in Ukraine if Russia were to invade, or said it was like part of my analysis within Ukraine, something that I brought up in terms of like addressing the denazification argument that I always thought was fucking ridiculous, was literally this point, which is when you fucking invade a country, especially one that you've invaded before, you know, Russia, Ukraine comes to mind again, you end up propping up all of the most like nationalistic, sometimes reactionary forces against you, and they become the galvanized, emboldened, righteous emancipators. Yeah, Mao and KMT might be a good example. Exactly. How do you think the media coverage of this war will change compared to the coverage on Gaza? Not even a little bit. I think that it's exactly the same. It almost operated like a reset. Notice how nobody's talking about how mad Israelis are about their hostages. It's like moths to a fire. Like literally everyone was like, okay, never mind. Fuck the hostages. Fuck the ceasefire. Fuck the genocide in Gaza. All we care about now is just like pummeling Lebanon. It's great. If you're asking me, like, is the Western media coverage on this going to be different? No, they're going to bring up like anti-Hezbollah Lebanese people, prop them up in media to be like, no, this is actually so sick. It's actually great that this is happening. I'm glad that like Israel is blowing up southern Gaza. They should annex it. They're going to, and they have started already, contextualize all of the violent actions that Israel is engaging as a belligerent as though it is perfectly permissible, perfectly within the confines of international law. And it's actually its responsibility to engage in this kind of thing by saying they're just doing this special military operation that is tactical, that is precise against Hezbollah. They're liberating Lebanon from Hezbollah, just like they were liberating Palestine from Hamas. I feel it should be easier for the left to push back against the Islamophobia against Lebanon, considering more diverse demographics, but it's just not happening so far. Dude, what are you talking about? There's Christian Palestinians. Nobody gives a shit. Israel has blown up literal f***ing churches, dude. Why is Syria being bombed, though? Just for funsies, you know? There's some remnants of the IRGC there in Damascus. They're probably bombing it for that reason. I don't know. Just to get them to not retaliate at all. At this point, honestly, it's probably because it's just Israel likes bombing places. That's it. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say other than this. Like, they just like doing it.
Israel may be now launching a limited operation into Lebanon. Are you aware of that? Are you comfortable with their plans?
I'm more aware than you might know, and I'm comfortable with them stopping. We should have a ceasefire now. Thank you.
Do you expect Iran to retaliate?
And the hurricane is...
Yeah, we got to stop this special military operation. But I just am simply powerless to do so, even though I do have the power to not give them more weapons, but I refuse to do that. Is he really powerless, or is he just incompetent? He's incompetent. He's not powerless. The president of America is not powerless, especially when it comes to Israel. Come on, guys. 2 bits of domestic Israeli politics. 1, the government just prohibited all gatherings of over 1,000 people in the center of the country, including Tel Aviv, so we can say goodbye to the hostage protests for now. And yesterday, too, the governing coalition gained 4 seats as former Likudnik, then former anti-Bibist, now former Bibi ally again. Gideon Sa'ar joined the government with his National Right Party. This will add both tensions and rigidity to the coalition. Nice. Credible Bloomberg data visualization that clearly shows what's actually going on between Israel and Lebanon. First, despite all the talk of the threat of Hezbollah rockets hitting Israel, it's actually Israel that's consistently firing far more rockets over the border. While some Israelis have died due to Hezbollah attacks, far more Lebanese people have been killed by Israel since October 2023. And that number has vastly increased through September as it turned its focus north. Does Lebanon have a right to defend itself? No, of course not. The answer is no, it does not. Look at the title of this suspiciously timed and removed J-Post article. Did the Jerusalem Post delete the article claiming God gave Israel Lebanon? Yeah, is Lebanon part of Israel's promised territory? Was the J-Post article. I'm shocked that they deleted it. Normally, they wouldn't do such a thing. They don't give a fuck. They'd be like, yeah, it's true. Some government staff are just stunned in speeches about what we've become. I mean, why are they? That's just America, baby. These got to be like the funniest people that join the American government and think like, this is like the cop that joins the police force and is like, what? Why are we like killing unarmed black people? Like, I don't understand. What have we become, dude? Like, I get why you would personally think that maybe you just like believe the propaganda, but like at a certain point you gotta be like, damn, this is a death machine that I'm in charge of. A deal for a ceasefire requires a heavy diplomatic lift that seems unlikely from Biden, with some promoting Israel escalation in DC circles. The big difference is those who think a ceasefire is still worth working for and those who do not. Biden can still choose to be like most U.S. presidents to threaten U.S. arms for Israel to influence his choices. Cooler heads inside of Israel seek a Lebanon deal and not be carried away. U.S. choices have an influence on the thinking here. And so far, given the U.S. hasn't put up any kind of pushback, Israel really feels like this is its moment to seize as much as it can. Oh my God, this is exactly what I said. Remember when I said exactly these words the other day? Israel recognizes the writing on the wall, that it has a time limitation for how much longer it can exist in the violent ways in which it does. In that last-ditch attempt, they are trying to take up as much space as they possibly physically can. The irony, of course, is that I think Israel doesn't recognize that its last-ditch desperate attempt is actually accelerating its own demise. It's Ensieg. My village, which has already been bombed, is in South Lebanon, and it leaves me in awe that while my family is displaced, they're advertising our land. Yeah, it's really fucked up that Frogan is being anti-Semitic again.
I speak a lot about the leaders of Iran. Yet at this pivotal moment, I want to address you, the people of Iran. I want to do so directly, without filters.
Uh-oh. Bro, same playbook. Israel has a right to defend itself. I love that he's talking to the people of Iran in English. I want to free the Palestinian people from Hamas. I want to free the Lebanese people from Hezbollah. And I want to free the Iranian people from Ayatollah. Where have I heard this before? It might as well be the kiss of death, dog. When Israel says, oh, I care about the people, that means he's going to send some packages, okay?
Every day, you see a regime that subjugates you make fiery speeches about defending Lebanon, defending Gaza. Yet every day, that regime plunges our region deeper into darkness and deeper into war. Every day, their puppets are eliminated. Ask Mohammed Def. Ask Nasrallah. There is nowhere in the Middle East Israel cannot reach. There's nowhere we will not go to protect our people and protect our country. With every passing moment, the regime is bringing you, the noble Persian people, closer to the abyss.
I think what's really funny about this is that, like, you can make the exact same article example out of Benjamin Netanyahu and Jews across the world, and certainly Jews in Israel too. But anyway, this is like telegraphed even from the invocation of Persian to the Los Angeles constituency, okay? He is not talking to the motherfucking Iranians. Well, he is. He's threatening the Iranians in Iran, just like when he said this about Lebanon. He was threatening the Lebanese population, or at least like just telling him, like, you're going to get bombed. That's what it is.
It would stop wasting billions of dollars on futile wars across the Middle East. It would start improving your lives.
It's so funny because it's like, again, resource-rich nation, and like one of the biggest problems it faces is not necessarily its like funding of terror around the region, like its funding of the axis of resistance, but instead unimaginable levels of sanctions that it has to deal with on a daily basis. Like, it's literally Israel and America.
All the vast money the regime wasted on nuclear weapons and foreign wars were invested in your children's education and improving your health care, in building your nation's infrastructure, water, sewage, all the other things that you need.
It's so funny that we're watching this because it is damn near identical to Hitler doing those speeches. Well, I guess like Hitler didn't truly want to get the smoke from England. But remember those Hitler speeches that we were looking at, the AI translation, or like all the misinformation surrounding all of these like Hitler lovers basically lying about his intentions to present him as like a peaceful dove, while also simultaneously being like, you know, he had to deal with the Jewish problem. And it's like, what the fuck are you saying, dog? You are literally an anti-Semite. Anyway, a lot of those speeches hold great resemblance to what Benjamin Netanyahu is saying here. I don't know if there was any AI translation of like early Hitler speeches towards like his ambitions in Eastern Europe, but it would probably resemble what he is saying here. We have no smoke for you. We want to defend our citizens. We just simply want to live side by side with you, and we want to make sure that, you know, you are saved from the scourge of communism.
Iran's tyrants don't care about your future, but you do. When Iran is finally free, and that moment will come a lot sooner than people think, everything will be different. Our two ancient peoples, the Jewish people and the Persian people, will finally be at peace. Our two countries, Israel and Iran, will be at peace. When that day comes, the terror network that the regime built in 5 continents will be bankrupt, dismantled. Iran will thrive as never before. Global investment, massive tourism, brilliant technological innovation based on the tremendous talents that exist inside Iran. Doesn't that sound better than endless poverty, repression, and war? From Qom to Isfahan, from Shiraz to Tabriz, there are tens of millions of good and decent people with thousands of years of history behind them and a brilliant future ahead of them. Don't let a small group of fanatic theocrats crush your hopes and your dreams. You deserve better. Your children deserve better. The entire world deserves better. I know you don't support...
He's right. I just feel this way about Israel, though, and America. Remember what I said about reactionaries? Like, reactionaries love to talk about the exact same shit that they are pulling off in their own countries, but then, like, complain about it when brown people do it, you know, when browner people do it. It's always the same shit. People will be like, I can't believe the Taliban, bro. I hate what they're doing. And it's like, dog, you want the same thing, but Christian. Like, what are you saying right now? I can see your other tweets, okay? Oh, man, you hate fanatic theocrats, huh? You hate him so much, you put him in your governing coalition. You hate him so much that you are one. I love when this guy says, yeah, fanatic theocrats are putting the interests of their own ambitions, putting their own personal interests against the interests of the people. It's like, you're talking about you. You're talking about America and you.
The rapists and murderers of Hamas and Hezbollah, but your leaders do. You deserve more. The people of Iran should know Israel stands with you.
Yeah, you deserve more bombs. It seems you haven't been bombed enough as of late.